crushing in front of an audience, and then them being like, "Dude, great set. Do you know where the bathroom is?"
Oh yeah, I know.
You're like, "Fuck."
Right down there, you fuck. Trip over the stairs. And then, it is fucked up though, because what's crazy is they do love your set, they do, but they hardly remember. I mean, if I put a hat on, and then like they would walk by me, it's like I'm a totally different person just with a hat on. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they don't really remember
Superman?
you. They don't remember you much at all.
I think it will also, they're also heavily shit-faced at these. Like, that is the one thing I noticed about Texas audiences. They get fucking wrecked.
Yeah, they do, man.
It's
we're Austin, like you've seen that clip. It's the bachelor party capital, man.
I had no idea.
Oh God.
It was some people hate it, some people I dig it, you know what I mean? I can talk to people, you know, but yeah, that shit blew my mind. The amount of LA people that I've run into in the audience, I was like, oh, okay, this isn't all Texas people as everyone likes to think it is.
No, it's not. And that's what's weird about, like, a lot of people try to tie like an ideology to clubs. They do that with the store a lot too. Here they go like, oh, it's all fucking liberal cucks there. It's like, dude, there's billionaires in LA. They're not liberal cucks. They actually like have the grossest conservative fucking mindset of all time.
Yeah, I've lived in California my whole life, and I was as growing up, I'm always just like, yeah, it doesn't feel like anyone's really on my side in the whole, you know, Congress or fucking, you know, the Senate or, you know what I mean, like any kind of political office. The whole time I've been in California. Yeah,
it's like but they do that with the mothership a lot, where they're like, oh, it's just a bunch of conservative douchebags. And then you go there, and then it's like there's like 12 people from Australia.
Yeah, same thing.
We're on holiday.
Yeah, the mothership.
Like, it's not
the comedy store too. This is the thing: is you get with those two big clubs, you notice that you get comedy tourists. People travel to come see these shows, and then you get a good mix of people. And it's funny to go back to LA because there's comics who'll be like, you know, they're like, oh, I went up at the mothership at the cruise show, and they didn't like me because they're all like, they don't like gay comics and blah, blah. I'm like, dog, Dylan's gay. You know what I mean? Like fucking someone who will not remain nameless was gay as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, there's gay comics that go up here who crush. I think it's easier to attach an ideology to a club and be like, that's why I didn't do well, instead of being like, nah, man, you fucking suck because you only get up in LA.
You just suck right now.
Yeah. But people get better.
You can get better.
Yeah.
And you can come back and say retard a lot, and you'll fucking murder it. It is funny whenever people try to, like, they'll try to do, like, the conservative, like, they'll end a joke, be like, faggot, and then it just bombs, and you're like, wow, you just said a bad joke. You thought that magic word was going to help you.
Yeah, you thought it was going to crush.
Joke, and it didn't. That's always the worst whenever it bombs. You're like, oh.
You're like, not only did it not work, but I feel like shit.
You made the F-bomb bomb at the mothership? Yikes. That's a bad joke, partner.
Oh, my God. So, all right, so I should probably get into this. Hey, welcome to another episode of To Be Frank with myself, Frank Castillo. Hello. Nice round of applause for Josh in the booth.
Yeah.
Today's guest is CJ Landry.
Oh.
Excited to have you, one, because you were also working at the mothership as a door guy. I was also a door guy at the Comedy Store, so it feels cool to see a lot of young door guys coming up through the system, and it's fun. Not that like you guys ask me for advice or stuff, but it's like it's fun seeing you guys figure it out and like talk to each other and commiserate, because there'll be times I'll walk through the hallway and I'll hear you guys talking about like your sets or like what Adam thinks or just like what's going on, Bob, and I love it so much.
Yeah, well, honestly, Derek and Hassan, I mean, obviously they're the biggest. Brian would be too. He just doesn't really talk, so that's kind of Brian Simpson's a robot. But Derek and Hassan, they definitely help. But just, I don't know, they always, like, every time I say something, they're like their face is like, yeah, we've heard this 1,000 times. This is exactly what happened at the. Like, their face is just kind of like, yeah, your problem's not special, and that makes me feel good.
Yeah, 100. It's good that you have Derek and Hassan, because they also know, I don't want to say the lore of the store, but it is like these not laws, but these like the fundamentals of the things that built the store when it comes to just comedy in a sense. And you get to see that kind of be created here at the mothership with you guys, the door people, and then the different hierarchies of everything inside.
Yeah, it feels weird too because it kind of I mean a lot of my problems kind of center around how there's two sides of that place. There's the comedians and then the people that just work there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy to me how the people that just work there can be so close to comedy and still don't fucking get it.
Yeah.
Or it's like, dude, you don't get how many more problems I have than you in this place. You know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, Mothership is kind of like a money printing machine.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever they kind of act like they're stressed about like a problem at the place, it's like there is no problems here. It's like everyone's making so much money here.
Yeah, that was probably
we're the only ones that are poor and really have problems.
And by the way, welcome to working at a comedy club. Because let me tell you, I mean, I don't work at the store anymore, but there was a lot of servers that I personally had problems with, only because it's one of these things that like, dog, you know, we need to make money. It's tough. Like when we were selling booze and stuff. A lot of servers would complain, and I remember it was just kind of like, you are here because of us. Yeah. And if everything happens correctly, I'll be selling the tickets for you to make money off of. Why are you being an asshole, and why are you getting in our way?
Yeah.
Like, the store isn't built so servers can get a career. You know what I mean? No one's finding a fucking amazing actress at the fucking Comedy Store server bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you'll find a funny comic who may do a bunch of other shit, but it's like, dog, that's not what the store's built for. So like, that was always my biggest problem, is when servers would complain and door guys were getting fucked and not being able to pay rent or make, because that's how they have to survive.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is a thing that tends to follow in a lot of like clubs, whether it be servers or whatever the problem is.
Yeah, it's a weird industry, man. It's like kind of funny though, you know, whenever you go around the like on the road to other clubs just to kind of see how they operate, and it's like, wow, we really do have the best system as far as
100%
just
you have the best
getting
system.
people in the door and then like understanding what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
There's so many clubs around this country that are just like, sit anywhere.
Aimless.
Here's Bud Light. Sit there. Like they're just like, oh, we're gonna talk the whole time and throw things.
It's
fucking crazy, dude. Like Tulsa, like I don't know. There's a lot of cities in this like in the country that I feel like they don't have any. They don't know. Most of them never been to a show before.
Comedy IQ is what I call it.
They're just like, yeah, this is my party now. I'm just partying in the room, and this guy's gonna have to deal with me.
It's crazy. Have you run into anything insane?
Oh God, there's been so many things. God, I don't even know if I want to say that. I'm saying it. I don't care. There's this place in Addison, Texas, and it's a comedy club that operates out of a restaurant.
By the way, red flag.
Extreme red flag. And what's even more of a red flag is the guy that owns the place also performs on every show.
Which, by the way, you see that and immediately you know this show's gonna suck.
Bro,
I'm getting fucked.
You don't even know. I was featuring for Adam Ray, and I don't even know. I mean, apparently they gave him like a good deal, whatever, to do this weekend. And this was before like all the Kill Tony stuff and everything. Like he was just like been touring and killing it on the road, and I think this guy just gave him a good deal to do this thing, and it looked like a good room, like on paper. Even whenever you walk in, you're like, oh, this is like a nice room. But then he does 20 minutes, and then his wife also does 20 after the feature, bro.
Whoa.
So there's the opener, there's me who does 15, and then him, and then his wife, and then Adam Ray.
So 40 minutes of comedy from a husband-wife duo?
Yeah, dude.
How bad is it?
I mean, so the guy is like actually decent.
Okay.
He seems like he's been doing it for a while. He's like seems pretty professional. Some of it, I mean, obviously like a lot of the jokes are hack or whatever, but like then she goes on and immediately she's singing like, so she has like Post Malone
singing.
Post Malone's playing as her walk-up song, and then she's like singing it a cappella.
Ugh.
Doing that shit whenever she walks up on stage, and then one of her bits is she takes she did it every show, by the way, she did this every show, where she took someone's pizza and then stuffed it in her bra. That was like one of her opening jokes, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on? And she's like dancing on tables, just like, whee! And then Adam Ray's in the back like, oh, I have to, he's just like, how's Dallas Comedy Club? Is that a good one? Just looking for next time I'm back here. It's not coming here ever again.
Holy shit, dude.
It's like horrible.
That's insane. The balls people have.
Every time I see him, we end up talking about that weekend because it was just one of those weekends that was like, what? And then, one of the shows, I totally forgot about this. This was like the best part. The last show of the weekend, of course, the worst.
Yeah.
And he gives, of course, so he's thinking.
He gives his cousin 10 minutes?
Yeah, he gave one of his friends. He gave one of his buddies 7 minutes. Dude, I don't even know if he's done stand-up before because he doesn't know what a light is. Yeah, he like the guy's like, and he's up on, he's like, what? And he's like, I'm lighting you, get off. He's like, oh, okay, like shit. That was like in the middle of the show. I mean, this is like somebody's headlining weekend, bro.
Dude, it's fucking wild.
How do you do that to somebody? A professional. How are you doing that to him?
I went to Paintwater, Michigan with Pauly Shore, and we get there, and it's always so funny because Pauly's been it forever, so he knows he's like, these small towns, they always try to add some person. I'm like, really? And he goes, yeah, they're not going up. So we get there, and they goes, so I got 2 guys going up doing 10 minutes each, and then Pauly's like, nah, man. One of them's going up, one of them's doing 5, the other one can do 5 on another show. The first guy that went up and did 5, he was sweet. He was like adorable. He did like Seinfeld impressions. It was real fucking just... It wasn't terrible. I teased him when I went up and it was fine. The second guy goes up. He's like, I'm doing to do 10. And we're like, all right, man. He gets the light at 3 minutes, gets off at 4.
Oh, man.
And then I went up and it was so uncomfortable. He was literally just saying historical facts about the town. And then I went up and I was like, that sucks. That guy did all my material. I was like, I had 25 minutes on this book report of just bullshit I wrote down. And dude, everyone was dying. But it was like, afterwards, he was like, I'm just going to bring you up. And I was like, I heard this man's feelings.
Yeah, dude, people are silly as hell.
But that's also one of the things I like about the mothership is everyone there is all like, they all go to 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, yeah.
It's so fucking sick.
Yeah, you know not to heckle just by the ears in the room. You're like, I don't heckle in this place.
100%, dude. And it's like, I get excited when someone shouts and heckles now. Like, in other places, I'd be like, oh, fuck, they're ruining the show. But when someone at the mothership's like, and I'm like,
yeah.
And it's always like the littlest guy who's the most dangerous dude there.
When someone's like really out of pocket heckling and like they're just out of control, I'm like, uh-oh. I'm just looking at them like, you have no idea what's about to happen here right now. They just, two dudes just like throwing him over the shoulder.
Yeah. One of my favorites was, because at the store, they eventually got real security. Because there was a moment where it was like dudes like me and Hassan and were like the guys that had to kick people out. So like, and once we got real security, it was nice because then you'd walk up and be like, hey man, I got to give you a warning. And then I remember people would be like, what the fuck are you going to do about it? And I was like, oh, I'm not going to do anything. I'm the nice, sweet, adorable, chubby guy they bring over to tell you politely once. I was like, that guy's going to do something. And then it was just like big guy. And then they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens, dude. Every time, it's weird. People will challenge the.
Oh yeah,
I have footage. I showed it on Derek Science of like a full brawl.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
So what's the record for mothership security versus?
Yeah, undefeated.
Undefeated. Well, I hate to break it to the Comedy Store, but we're pretty much, I think, 0-3 in fucking security fights.
Wow, really?
Yeah, one of our security guards got punched by, I think, fucking Martin Lawrence's security team. There's video of him getting knocked out, and bro, we were talking shit forever.
Jesus Christ, that's awesome.
I love you, Ruby. Shout out, Ruby.
That's so funny.
Dude, this is so fucking funny. All right, so...
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That what's wild is that people will challenge the mothership, like, it's like, bro, are you kidding me? Like, it'll be like 1v5. He's like, fucking call the police then. And the cop walked around the corner. He's like, I guess I am leaving.
Yeah, it's so fun. The two cops there are so cool too.
Yeah.
And it's always so wild too because it's like, you know me, I got a fucking weed hat on and shit.
Yeah.
And like, it's a lot of fun. It's crazy to see everybody out there. and to see like how fun it is, and they really protect everybody. It's nice.
Yeah, that's the best part about working at Mothership. You can't smoke weed because the boss does shrooms on live podcasts where it's a felony, so he can't really. He has no room to talk.
No, we might cut that part out. But anyways, no. But so when did you move to Austin? Have you always been out here?
Yeah, I've been out here a little over 2 years now. I lived in LA for a year.
Okay. Did we meet in LA when you lived out there? No. Okay. Cool. Because
I was hanging around the store though. I knew some of the door guys, but I knew Allie.
Makovsky?
Yeah.
Nice.
I knew Bruce.
Bruce Gray.
I knew he wasn't a door guy. I don't think Brian Vokey.
Yeah, Vokey, who should have been a door guy.
Yeah, he's a good friend. What happened there?
I mean, it's just sometimes some people just don't get picked, and that's the thing that sucks. Yeah, because there's also like there's people in my heart that I'm like dead set on wanting them to be door people, and then they just don't get picked, or they can move on to development, or just whatever happens, and it's just it's not in your hands. It ends up being the talent coordinator's decision, obviously.
And you'd say door guy's better than being in development.
It depends. I think you gain more from being a door guy than you do from getting developed.
Okay.
Because the camaraderie and the friendships and just literally the brotherhood that you get from working at a club, that and those memories that you have, you'll hold on to those more than like bro, even if you're touring, selling shit out, all that stuff, all the money in the world, that'll be the best, great. But the best moments you have will be working at that club, like the shit you and your friends do on stage. Like I have memories of Derek, Hassan, Simpson, all these people that I worked with as a door guy, and just laughing our asses off, making too much money, like just doing dumb shit, getting high, going to fucking Mel's Diner. But those are I think getting that job is in the end more important.
That's you're giving me like ex-football coach going, high school's the best time of your life, man. I'm like, really? I'm getting pantsed every day.
Yeah, man.
That's the best time of my life, getting pantsed in the nut checked.
It's also tough. I definitely think it's tough to see it from the outside now, but it's like, dog, you guys are part of like thing, it's like you won't know, and it's one of those things that you won't realize until like years later how fucking sick it, like they'll be writing history books about this shit.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. It'll be very specific.
Some people will get mentioned
books.
And some people won't. No, unless someone fucking.
It is a pretty major move for stand up though. I hope they. I don't know. I don't know if it'll. I feel like people are really quick to jump like, oh, I hope they do this in Denver next, Nashville. It's like I don't. This is like such a 1 in a million.
It's a microcosm. It's a small lightning in a bottle. It's the people that are moving here. Because also I was saying is like compared to when I came back to visit to now, the people that are moving here, the hungriness of people to build shows in a community, and the amount of spots, and just like the level of everyone's work ethic here is different than LA, and it makes you like when I come here, I'm like excited. Like I think you posted that. I showed on one of the episodes where you posted that Joe Biden clip. Yeah. That shit made me laugh so hard because I think that was such a perfect example of a comic that's not like trying to do political shit, but it's just such a funny take that no matter what side of the aisle, that's so fucking funny.
That's kind of where I'm at, where it's like because like ever since posting that, people are like really more about like my opinion, like messaging me or like commenting and like trying to like political, like where we standing. It's like I just the whole premise of the thing is like I just don't get what's going on. I just don't. It feels like no one's at the wheel. It's like cruise control and everyone's in the back seat like guys, like that's where I feel like we're at.
Yeah.
So that's where what I feel, and then like that joke was getting such a big reaction that it felt weird to go back to being. I had to just like close on it because it felt weird to go back to being like as a childhood was weird. It's like you either have to be that comic or it's like I don't know. I don't know where to like how to like sift that in through my shit yet. But I keep writing like more topical stuff, and now it's like kind of becoming more a skill of mine, but I don't know how to. I used to just only talk about just my life, so now I'm like having to like splice it somehow.
I think it's always there's always a good mix, and I think Seguro is probably one of my favorites to watch because he talks about that where he's like his whole act is like he'll do like 2 or 3 big stories about like family or whatever, right? And then he has like certain jokes that you could tell he just wrote that were like funny, and then he weaves them in, and then he has like smaller stuff that he puts in, but it's all just like a part of the bigger thing that he builds. So it's like, yeah, it's like you could still do that. Like I still will write random topical stuff and then figuring out how to put it in and then weave it into the regular stuff about your family.
Yeah, it's just hard to. I think I'm gonna have to, maybe talk about either my family's because I'm from Louisiana, so it's pretty. I mean, it's very conservative there. I don't even know if I haven't even talked to any of my family members about that joke. I don't even know if they saw it. I don't even know. But I don't talk to because my dad's very, like, my dad will send to the family group. It always gets ignored by everybody, by the way, because it's like me, my sister, my brother, and like his girlfriend that's in the group, you know? And so he'll just send like a political meme or something, and no one pays attention. Everyone just ignores it. Every time. Yeah. Every time he sends something, we just ignore it. And it'll be like a climate change thing where it's like, oh, this is the coast of this castle in 1800, and now this is the picture of it now, and it hasn't moved. So what's that about? It's not really getting warmer, is it? Or whatever. Sea level's rising? And we're just like, all right, cool, man. And I'm just like high as like, cool, man. Hey, I'm unemployed. Thanks. My brother one time was like, I'm just worried about not getting drafted. It's like, yeah, dude, it's like, that's what we're worried. Like, why are you like, who gives a fuck? Climate change?
Yeah.
We might not be here in 5 years, bro. Who gives a shit?
So,
and then he sent the Olympic gold medal list.
Yeah.
He just sent that.
The list.
And was like, Democrat media will think we're not number one. How about that? Just like, you're like, all right, dude. And then he said something that I thought was actually pretty. He goes, China's making the medals. They can't even win them. I'm like, all right, that's pretty good, Pop.
Every once in a while, they have a fucking solid one where you're like, all right, maybe we should let him post a little bit more. You know what I mean?
That's pretty good. I got to respond to that one.
I have a grandpa like that. I was always told when it would come to comedy, it's like, don't get too political one way or the other because you'll alienate one audience, one half or the other. But now that I see it more than ever, it's like you can because you'll automatically gain one half of an audience.
So much money.
But I also just think that affects you as like a comic. Because then I also get to this point where like I see certain comics and I'm like, well, I don't believe you, but I believe that you want to make money. Like I believe that I don't truly believe you believe these ideals. Because there's certain people I see and I'm like, oh yeah, I believe you totally believe that. Like my grandfather, yeah, of course he believes that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't know any better. And then there's like certain comics where I'm like, all right, well, was trying to just be super funny too tough?
Yeah, you're right, man. It's the weirdest thing watching people. I've seen people jump from one thing to another too. I've seen I'm not gonna say any names, but they had this one guy who was like, he was very viral and famous for doing one thing that was like his like niche, and it wasn't a political thing. It was kind of like just like a hobby thing, and everyone's like, "Woo, yeah, we're that too." And then he just went like super alt-right crazy, and I opened for him in San Antonio, and it was like a fucking rally, bro. It was like the whole set was just like climate change, more like summer and winter, and everyone's like, it was like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on?
It feels like you can sell out too far on either side.
And I was a dumbass trying to make good points before him too. I was like,
no,
right?
No, don't educate these people. Just make them laugh.
Talk about Trump. Yeah, it was just, it's exhausting too. Like that, even doing that bit. That's why I kind of don't. I like it because it's like people react to it, and it is kind of like stuff that's happening. It seems like I have like a skill at writing those jokes, but it's also kind of exhausting telling those jokes.
No, absolutely.
Because you're just like, you're thinking about it all the time, and it's just, it's depressing. It's not like positive things. I'd way rather talk about like funny stories from my childhood.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, yeah, everything's fucked.
Yeah, like I used to dream about working on the Daily Show, and then I saw like friends of mine get jobs there, and I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds like it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
You think the sky's falling every single day.
I know, it's just that news cycle.
Yeah.
It's just fucking scary. I used to have, God, what is it called? It's like the Explore page whenever you open up. I think it's on
Drudge
Windows.
Report?
No, it's like as soon as you open up, and I don't remember what site it is because it's not like Google News or something, but it's like some site news, and it's like it's half of it's like fake. Half of it looks like like it'll be just the most triggering headlines. It's all just like
it's all headlines to make your grandparents go, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it's always like that. It just shows like how many gay people were at the Olympics, and you're like, "Why is that a headline? Why is that a headline?
Who's counting?"
Who's counting? It's just so people are like, "God damn it, they're at fucking the Olympics too.
They're having fun.
That's why we don't fucking win every year." It's just like, yeah, you're just like, what the fuck is this for? It's just to piss people off. And that's what was so funny about the Daily Show now, because I love Jon Stewart. I thought Jon Stewart
I love it. Truly
I still do it. And his first like couple episodes back, he got like a lot of like flack because he made fun of Biden.
I saw that. That's when things changed for me, where I was like, whoa. You can't even like
make fun of the guy.
You can't even make fun of everybody? You can't go for everybody? That was the thing, is I saw a lot of God, this is a terrible, I don't know if I should make this opinion, but there's because this is just a pattern I saw where
just blame the dabs.
Oh my God. I know, right? So there's a person that I follow that I've met through comedy and Hollywood stuff, right?
All right.
And it wasn't until this big war between Israel and Gaza started happening that they started getting a lot of pops. And it was because they were taking such a strong side on one thing. And regardless of whether or not they're right, it was just kind of one of those things like, oh, like this is like, I don't want to say it's your avenue, but it's like, this is how you make your bread. So when Jon Stewart put out an episode of him kind of like making a joke about Israel, like self-joking about himself, this person like went and made like a huge like content, like a whole video about how blah, blah, blah. And then it was just kind of like, oh shit. So that almost in a way, now you have even more views by just responding to a thing. It's just really weird. I was like, now it just feels like even good causes almost feel disingenuous depending on like who the person is that's saying it.
Yeah, and that's why I guess it's so impressive what Jon Stewart does, because he took a break for so long, and then when he came back, I don't know how much of the show he's writing. I mean, the guy must be just, I'm sure he's like a savant at writing, but also it's like, I don't know how much help he has with the everyday like that, because I think it's every once a month. Or
it's every Monday.
Wow, I mean, see, that's just crazy.
So it's 4 episodes a month.
I mean, obviously even crazier that the show operates, I think, every day, but whenever he was doing it, he was doing it every day, but like still the jokes that he has packed into that every Monday good. Now.
It shows you why he's the best.
God,
he got in trouble for talking about the Wuhan virus. They didn't like the take he had there, and then he's gotten a little bit of flack, and it's so wild to see such a guy that, in my opinion, was like such a, I don't want to say such a centered point of view, but such a like voice of reason, to now see people be like wave their finger at someone we thought was the voice of reason a couple years ago. And I still think doesn't have crazy opinions.
Yeah, no, he's pretty in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's I was seeing like a video to one of my friends who's like, it's just crazy how just all the way on the other side they are. They don't want to, that's the other thing. They don't want to see, the same thing with my joke that I posted. It was like, everyone just, it was funny to see how people reacted to the bit, because some people thought it was a Kamala joke. Some people thought it was like a pro-Trump joke.
Yeah, it's wild to see what people will see your material and what they take from it.
And that was the first time I've ever like almost experienced that, because it was just so funny to me, because I thought I was just going straight in the middle, like, what's going on kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then some people were like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. And then like I go to their bio, and then it's just like Trump 2024, a Donald Trump quote in their bio. You're like,
the worst shit you've ever seen. Yeah,
holy fucking hell! Like it's mother of 4 kids, Trump 2024. You're like, oh, God.
There's just a fucking Kamala effigy burning, and you're like, oh yeah.
This her bio's Kentucky, mother of 4.
At least they buy tickets.
Child of God, Trump 2024. And I'm like, wow, that's the people who like this. A lot of people who like this bit, and then also a lot of people thought it was a Kamala joke, like a pro Kamala joke. So I just thought that was funny how I didn't even know how to respond to those things because I didn't want people thinking that it was a Trump. You know what I mean? I didn't want to respond to the comments thinking that it was like this whole thing where I'm like, what do I do? What do I?
Yeah.
It's kind of stressful, really. That's why I don't even like posting that much.
So someone made a good point where they were like, if you're doing jokes, no one should be able to tell your political view when you're watching stand-up in a sense of like a teacher, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like if I'm watching you do stand-up, I shouldn't know where you stand politically. I should still just be like, I don't know what the fuck he's saying, you know what I mean? Because I think if then it comes off too much like you're selling one side or another to one or two people, you know? And also it comes into like, oh, this feels like clapter, you know what I mean? Like you're just saying a good thing, you know? This feels like the easy way of just not trying to have a good take or a good angle on something.
Yeah, I battle with that a lot. I feel like, especially at Mothership, because they are so political. So a lot of people are politically just charged there because they know what the place is. They know kind of how Rogan sits, and so like whatever their views are whenever they come in, they kind of know what they're walking into. Like a lot of people, because that's the other thing where people are like, oh, it's just it's a cup full of fucking conservative fucking tools, but it's like they have friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their friends come.
Yeah.
And then their friends are like this. They also think this is the conservative whatever. So now it's like charged liberals in the room.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And then I come up, and then I'm just like saying the most ridiculous shit.
Yeah, it's like it's. I mean, I love that. I love whenever it's you don't charge an audience or make them feel any kind of way, but I do. I obviously make them do that. But that's why it's exhausting because I'm trying to. I'm trying to get a reaction out of people, but also get them to see how I see things, but not in a political way, just kind of in like a perspective way.
Well, you're also the everyman.
Yeah, I guess.
Or you're trying to be. That's why the tag that was so funny to me was when your friend goes, yeah, but then there'd be a woman driving. Where it's like, yeah, that's every guy that you know. You know what I mean? That's literally every guy that you know when you talk about presidential shit or like them leaving. It's like, yeah, but then fucking a woman. And you're like, but that's why it was so funny because it wasn't coming from you, but it's just a funny angle.
And then like, I don't know. I've been having difficulty with like some of the jokes that I do at the club. I really want to make this one funny. Never is though, bro. Like,
which one? Let me hear.
Just how just the idea of it is that my dad hates like the whole drag show thing because they're like, especially like in Louisiana, there's like a lot of New Orleans drag show things going on now, and it's just so funny to me because he loved the band Kiss. Twisted Sister, Motley Crue, Poison. Like, doesn't really add up, buddy. Seems like you really liked it a few years ago.
Feels like they just need instruments.
Yeah, it seems like they need some guitars and drums. And you love these fake titty bitches, right?
Yeah, dude, that's the angle right there. That's so funny. Yeah, that's such a funny bit.
Bombs.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's so funny. Weird. But you know what? It's one of those things where it's just gonna click.
I know.
And that's the craziest thing about this is that once it clicks, though, you're gonna fucking be like, oh my god, finally, that was the one thing I was missing.
Yeah,
man,
it's the weirdest thing. There's so many bits like that I have right now that is just like so frustrating. Just because it is kind of political, but it's like it's just funny though.
It's not even really political. It's more like a real thing about your father.
Yes.
And then it's a funny observation why the thing that your father believes is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's also like you don't have to be politically on whatever side. It's just a funny situation that everyone's had with their father.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like whenever I feel like maybe I'm projecting or something. I don't know. My girlfriend taught me that word 2 weeks ago. Whenever I'm projecting, I'm projecting the fact that I think they are judging me for this big.
Yeah.
Because there's woke rooms in the city too.
Of course.
Like and I just say something about drag shows, everyone's like, what is he about to say?
Yeah, yeah. This is the thing that whenever people are always just like, oh, the crowd's too woke or that crowd's too conservative, I never think of it like that anymore. I always think of everyone can get offended. It's offended people. Like conservatives get offended when you talk about, America, military shit, religious stuff, especially religion.
Yeah.
Woke people get offended when you talk about, punching down or minorities, all that stuff. So that's how it doesn't matter. I just look at offended people.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just fucking offended. Yeah. A woman said Jesus Christ during my show the other one of my sets, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's a reasonable reaction. What are we? All right, perfect.
34.
All right, cool. We're going to get into some questions.
Yeah.
My wife wrote, she's a therapist.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
I need this.
What's something you did as a kid / teen that still haunts you that is cringy?
Jesus Christ, dude. Wow. There's so many things. There really is. There's so many. I used to shit in the backyard when I was 5 or 6. I think it was both, honestly. Because I was doing it a lot. I don't know why. I think it was because I was left home a lot. There was the neighbor that would watch me, but she would just be whatever. I don't know what she had some business in her house, and she had a son that was really he was in high school or something. So they would just kind of let me run around, do whatever, and I would shit in the backyard a lot. I don't know why. I guess I just didn't want to stink up their house or something weird. But I got caught by my mom, just shitting in the backyard. And then she was like, you could get arrested for that. I was just what? What? You can get arrested?
Is this for shitting outside?
It's I'm 6. And then it was kind of crazy because I was like, whoa, you did caught me on the biggest turd. This would be punishable by crime, bro. This is I'm like, God damn it, the turd.
You're holding it up like a fish. Fucking the 10-pounder you're caught.
Yeah, I was like, God damn. I remember looking at holy fucking shit. I couldn't believe that came out of me. Yeah, there was that. Man, I was in love with my 5th grade teacher. I thought about this the other day. This is really embarrassing. This is one of the most embarrassing things. This kind of still haunts me to this day because I don't know really what happened. So I was in love with this lady, deeply. This was my first crack at puberty. I'm imagining, I didn't even know what sex was. I just knew I wanted to rub my dick on her tits. That's all I knew I wanted to do. That's all I thought about all the time during history class. And then I was so in love with her. I hit on her. I straight up hit on her. I walked up to her it was the first couple weeks of school.
What was the riz?
It was the first couple weeks of school, and my buddy was like, come on, do it, let's do it. And I was like, all right, cool. And then me and my buddy walked up to her, and I was like, hey, are you single? And she laughed, and she was like, why is your dad single? And I'm like, no. 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 And she laughed ever since that day, where I was like, me. And she was like, you're a little young. And, she was kind of fucking with me about that. And then ever since, we were kind of had this, just sort of mutual understanding that obviously I was in. I was down in 5th grade. Bye. And she knew that. She fucking knew that, dude. You could tell.
Did you fuck your 5th grade teacher?
I did not, dude.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. Oh.
I don't remember, but I definitely didn't. I don't think. But so the end of this. And by the way, I'm like teachers petting it up all year long, hardcore.
Okay.
I'm playing full court press. We're on the recess court. I'm talking to her. We going into class. Talking to her. I am talking to her a lot all year long. And then she. Yeah, I was obsessed with her, bro. It was nuts. The worst year in school I've ever had. So it's failed every test, dude. It's a fucking idiot. Not learning anything. Just hoping she'd pull me aside. Like, you need some after class studies? It's you're damn right. Yeah. And then, yeah, so she leaves that year, bro. She leaves the school year that year. And she leaves that year. I don't know why. I don't even know why. That's the other thing I think about often.
How much would it break your heart when you find out she was fucking one of the other students?
Just fucking my buddy. He's like, son of a bitch, James. Anyway, sorry. So she leaves, and I don't remember how this happened. I don't remember exactly what happened. I don't remember how this happened. But she came. I just remember she came to my house.
What?
To say bye to me on the front porch. We had like a full blown talk. I don't even know if my mom. I don't even know if my mom was home. She was like late 20s, early 30s.
And you were how old?
5th grade. I was 10. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
And it was great. I mean, I just don't know. Like looking back, I'm just like, I don't like, was my mom at home when this happened? Like, why would she let this happen?
She was like, your teacher wants to say goodbye before she leaves, doesn't think anything of it.
It's like, yo,
man, your teacher really liked you. You know what
I mean, how did I don't know. I don't know like what my mom thought. So I really want to talk to my mom about it. Just kind of being like, why did you let that happen? Like,
by the way, my wife's gonna be like, dude, these are the best questions I've ever written. Like the 3 for 3 episodes we've asked, like I've just asked questions she's written, and it's produced some of the wildest shit, and it's so fucking funny.
Literally shit.
Yeah, man.
Okay, tell the story of a time you were really high/drunk and something crazy happened, or you did something crazy.
Ooh, high/drunk. Probably gonna be on the road, unfortunately. If I had to guess, high/drunk did something crazy. I mean, damn. Jeez. I got a possession charge actually, like not too long ago. I have like a bit about it, but it was me and another comic, another door guy. We're driving to Dallas, and I don't know why I let her drive, but she was smoking a joint and also going like 90 miles an hour.
No.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Driving from Austin to Dallas, so we're just driving through like Podunk, Texas.
Yeah, and that's the worst places to drive through if you have any kind of drugs.
We get pulled over, and I'm like, oh my God, man. That's like, I was like thinking, all right, we're gonna have to pull the white card. Oh boy, it's gonna be one of those days, huh?
You push your nose back.
Cop walks out. It is a black woman. I'm like,
you're fucked.
Jesus. They're about to be made an example of. Throw the book at me. I'm just gonna be fucked in the ass here. And then we both got slapped like $1,000 possession charges, and with like barely any weed. We had like a quarter on us or something. It was like crazy.
I was like, barely any weed. We had half an ounce. We had a couple of grams of some high quality hash.
Right.
Yeah, if you're the cops, a quarter's a lot of.
I know. Dude, it was just. I mean, we're just sitting there like, fuck. You
didn't get a cool cop who's just like, oh, you only picked up they had a deal on a QP? What's going on?
And that's the thing. If they smell it, it's over.
Yeah.
If they have a suspicion, though, do you know this?
No.
If they have just a suspicion, they don't smell it. They just think you do. They call, and you say no to a search warrant, they just call a K9 unit, and they can just be like, oh, he said we have to search. We can search it now. He did. Really? Huh, that's weird. It's like the weirdest thing. Like, oh, you said it. All right.
I fucking love Texas, baby.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then they did a podcast. I heard a podcast recently that's like half the time it's just them racial stereotyping and being like, yeah, we'll get a dog, and then we'll just say he said to, yeah. Yeah, because it's just like they can just say the dog said whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know the signal. Only you do. Huh.
Yeah. Do you speak dog?
Yeah, you just speak dog, huh? Dr. Doolittle ass over here. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, that's why I make sure I have everything smell proof. What are some things you learned about relationships from your parents, good or bad?
Well, alcohol causes hitting, and they hate when I talk about that. They do.
Oh my God.
Why did you say that?
My parents never hit each other. My parents would just get drunk, and my mom would break things, and my dad would just be chill and try to ignore it. There's a very famous story.
A lot of breaking stuff too.
A very famous story of my mom and my dad getting in an argument. My dad put his headphones on to listen to his vinyl records to like drown her out.
Yeah.
And she went and got a pitcher of water and poured it all over his
Jesus
equipment.
Christ. My mom one time broke a bunch of, because it was like the dumbest thing. My mom, I remember my mom would always get mad at something, like if my dad would be like, "Where's this?" And then she'd be like, "It's here." And then he would go look for it, not find it, and then get really pissed off. They would fight. He would storm out and then leave. That's when she would break the most shit. She would be like, "It's right fucking here," and then just start throwing CDs. She just broke. I remember her just breaking a bunch of CDs, just throwing them at the stereo, just breaking everything.
Why do women hate stereos? Why do women hate audio equipment? Why do you fucking beat up our fucking audio shit, dog? Come on, dog.
Broke a bunch of CDs on the stereo. Oh shit, man. Yeah, just like, I don't know, like, don't have kids you don't want.
That's also something I'm starting to learn too, where I'm just like,
damn.
Or I'm just like, because my parents had me. My mom was 19. My dad was in his young 20s. And
Same here. They were young. My mom had me in college.
Yeah, my mom didn't go to college.
Yeah.
Oh, she eventually went to college.
Yeah, she was studying to be a teacher, so it didn't really get much better. I mean, it really literally went from the dorm room to the fucking studio.
Dude, I remember being like in my mid 20s. I was like, I remember one day I was just like, I called her. I was like, "Dude, did you want me?" And she was like, "Yeah, your dad wouldn't let me out of the car in front of the abortion clinic, but yeah, I wanted you." And I was like, "What the fuck?" She was like, "He drove," and I was like, "That's so funny."
Damn. Yeah, that was crazy. It was at LSU. I lived in the marriage dorm for the first 3 years while she had me go to school. She'd take me to class as a baby. And
I went to class with my mom as a kid in college.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
I'm just sitting there on the fucking planter playing with my toys, waiting for her. She's sitting there at the front, like looking outside the door to make sure I'm like not getting kidnapped.
Yeah, just a toddler with an associate's degree. Don't mind me.
I got a master's at 5, but I just want to know what the color of my mom's eyes are. That was rough.
Yeah, they would take me to fucking LSU games. I was like a baby, which is wild to me, bro. It's probably why I have I wanted to talk about this too. I feel like I was in like a death metal band when I was in high school, and we would just play we wouldn't have like
earplugs, none. Oh my god, do you have tinnitus?
And just dun, 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 and just blaring speakers, drums. I every now and then.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Oh no,
it just happens.
What age were you when you were playing the metal band? What was it? What was the
15.
What was the band's name?
It's called Val High, which is a street in my hometown.
That actually does sound pretty badass.
Yeah, and it was, we had like the crazy, like fucking like, or like Val High's like, it's all spelled like spider
crazy.
Webs. Yeah.
Is that a font or is that like a guy?
It's definitely a guy. You got to get a guy. Yeah, can you do spider webs and blood, please? Thank you.
My wife's uncle is the lead singer of Cattle Decapitation.
Holy shit!
Do you know who that is?
Cattle Decapitation.
Oh yeah, they're like a big screamo like metal band.
Damn, that's sick.
But they tour like Europe and a bunch of other places. They sell out. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I remember yeah, it's fucking so wild, dude.
We did the same venue that like the Cannibal Corpse did before.
Oh, nice.
And it was in like this. It was like this small. It like you standing, it could have like 150 people in it, and we had like a bunch of people from high school. I was like one of our last shows, but. There's so many embarrassing, bro. That might be the most embarrassing time of my life.
Really?
Just me thinking I'm on top. I'm like, dude, I'm so fucking cool right now. And I'm just wearing like lightning blue skinny pants. It's like, what are you doing, bro? Who are you? And I just, I mean, you know what I'm talking about? Like just being like, what are you doing, dude? But that was like a big thing, and like it was like skaters and like just like the heavy metal scene was like big then.
Yeah.
It was big around then. I don't know what changed. I guess it still is, but that was like the time like when Warped Tour was like as big as it ever was, and like all that shit.
Nice.
And yeah, dude, it was just an embarrassing time. I just remember like it's so funny just because performing now a lot is just so different than because I just remember we did this show one time and the guitar strap just kept popping off my guitar while I'm playing. And so we're just standing in front of a bunch of 100 people that some of them like go to my high school and like all, and I'm just like playing, and then my guitar just like drops the fuck. It's like, it's just like in the middle of the song.
Punk rock, dude.
Didn't really affect the song that much, really, because it's mostly screaming and noise.
They thought it was part of it.
But it was just, I mean, I would just jump and it would just pop again. It's just like, people were just like, what is this guy doing?
Dude,
bro?
that was your solo, bro.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was just just silly times.
All right, I got a few more. What are some things you love but are embarrassed about how much you love them?
Things I love. Oh, man. Fuck, there's so many things like that. I'm kind of a nerd. I got like a Nintendo Switch, and they have the Mario Golf.
Oh, I love Mario Golf.
The Mario Golf on the Switch. I've been doing that, and then I've been watching a lot of the. So on Roku, I don't know if you have Roku here, but we have Roku at my house, and they have they have like a bunch of channels, like it's like hundreds of channels just for free. And
Yeah.
And like some of the channels, it's just wow. Like some of the channels are just dedicated to one show.
Yeah.
And so they have.
They used to call that TV back in the day.
No, but I'm saying no. But I'm saying like it'll be like one channel is just The Price is Right, the Bob Barker era.
Where it's just the whole Barbara. Yeah,
24/7, all day, every day. And I mean, thank God this doesn't exist when my grandma was still alive, because she would be glued to the TV. But it's just so funny to watch. I've been just enjoying it, like watching it a lot, because it's just so funny to watch like misogyny just wide out in the open, and just no one cares. Everyone like thinks it's like, yeah, it's fine.
Back in the day.
No, it makes sense. Like every woman has to kiss him on the cheek. I get it.
Yeah.
It's like every woman that walks on stage. And when a woman doesn't, he's like sometimes he's like, hey, thought you wanted this boat, bitch. It's like, whoa. And then sometimes, they spin the wheel.
Yeah.
There's been a couple times where he's like, oh, it's such a hard pull for such a fragile little girl. And it's just like, she's 26, Bob. Let's dial it back a bit. Jesus. You're like, good God. It's fucked. But that's just like little treats along the way. But the big funny part is like, for me, the funniest part is like trying to guess the prices of like the 80s.
Oh, back in the day?
So
you're,
it's like, yeah.
You're like $5.37. They're like 22 cents.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
I'm like, fuck, dude.
How much is this boat? $25.
A new house. You're like, what the fuck?
They're selling a black guy. You're like, whoa, I went too far back and the price is right.
Yeah, man.
Bob Barker Sr. playing. You just want a new plantation.
Please remember, states' rights are important. We'll be right back.
This is The Price is White.
That's fucking gold, dude.
Oh, my
Bob Barker,
God.
baby.
Oh, shit. Okay. I think that's a great one to end on.
Dude.
Did you have fun?
So much fun, my God.
Please, if there's anything you want to plug before we get out of here.
Yeah, just follow me on Instagram at the CJ Landry. Thank you.
All right, cool. I just want to shout out to our sponsors, Puffco. Thank you so much. I have the new Peak that they just dropped. It is the reimagining of the Peak OG. The top is different colored because Kim Congdon's boyfriend broke the glass I gave him immediately. So I will have a brand new one when I come back, but it is really, really cool. It's the entry level. It gets you nice and ripped, especially if you're just trying to get into hash. And then we are sponsored by Kalia Extracts. Thank you very much for all the stuff that you guys do. If you're ever in California, check them out at your local dispensaries. And shout out Alien Labs. Thank you, Ted. He came and visited, and it was a lot of fun when he came and visited. Let's just put it that way. Thank you guys. Tune in next time. Have a good one.
Bye. Cool. Thank you, bro. It was fun as fuck.
Dude, yeah, it was a good